Hi, I'm Caleb Dudley, the CEO of Tech LLC.
I'm Tommy Capalla, the CFO of the company.
I am David Capalla and I'm the COO. So just to give you guys a little bit of the background about the company, it kind of stemmed from the coding club here at Northern High School last year in February, and we started, programming mobile apps, and we started getting a lot of attention from the community. So we decided to go ahead and create a company so that we could start, marketing our skills to other people.
So our purpose is to provide app development services basically to companies that need apps, and a lot of companies need apps, and we provide for both iOS and Android platforms, so that allows them to promote themselves to the majority of users, because the majority of people are either iPhone or Android users. And so the market info we took, and we cover this in more depth in some of the other slides, but although there's a lot of companies out there that do what we do, and we name some of those later, we do them at a cheaper price because we're smaller and we're less experienced. And we also offer an advantage because of our age. We provide valuable insight into the lives and the social aspects of the youth community. So how they use social media, how they're changing things, how to access the youth community. And so our main target market is going to be schools and businesses, but we can also meet the needs of restaurants and any other miscellaneous people who would need our services, but we're mainly going to be targeting schools and businesses just because they're easier, and if you can make one app and then take it to a whole bunch of different schools and change some things about it, then you have something you can sell to a majority of people instead of working hard or learning something new to make a different app or a miscellaneous app. And then our company is made up of 3 of us. And we're started in January, and we're a limited liability company. So our business name is, once again, Tech LLC. And so I guess our mission statement is we're going to provide industry quality software solutions to enterprising companies in need of wider market access or a professional mobile presence to accelerate growth and sale opportunities. So we really want to use it as our apps are going to be marketing tools. And they're also going to be ways, maybe customers can make purchases or, get new info, or they can even help their employees and things like that. Wow. Sorry about that. I use the phone later in the presentation. So yeah, we're once again started in mid-January, and then our email and website, I'm not going to read those, but you guys can visit those later. I know you guys have them in the packets. And so our service, we're going to be providing services for the 2 application platforms, like I said, iOS and Android. We'll make the apps all the way from the conception of the idea on the whiteboard, drawing it out, making the Word document that says exactly what we're going to do with each part of the app, all the way through post-launch. So we're going to launch the app for them, put it on the Play Store, and then also we'll continue maintenance with them if they prefer to do that, or if they choose to do so. So our industry, so the software development industry is a fairly new industry, about the last 5 years or so, which is, the app development industry, which is greatly expanding. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment of software engineers is projected to grow 22% between 2012 and 2022, and which is a lot faster than most of the other occupations and industries out there. So our customers, once again, we're going to mainly target companies in need of more market opportunities, and possibly politicians looking for a leg up. It's that season. A lot of politicians like apps. Ed Perlmutter, who we worked with extensively, actually had an app that he showed us. And then schools, the main part of our school, branch of our company is going to be at creating a way for the school to keep in contact with the students and teachers, and then teachers to give assignments to students and things like that. And that's what we won the house app competition with last year with our Nero app. And so we're planning on taking that further and actually selling it to schools. and so we're once again an LLC, and then Chief Executive Officer, Chief Financial Officer, and then Chief Operations Officer. And so employees, we're not really planning on employing anyone because we're fairly small and we can handle all of the jobs that we have ourselves. However, you know, we might, within the next 12 months or so, we might contract people out depending on how business goes and how we grow. But definitely for the first 12 to 24 months, we're not planning on having any full-time employees.
So for our competitors, there's a couple in the area. There is Rage Digital, Epic Apps, Foraker Labs, App Adventures, which we talked to earlier to get some more information. Flush Productions and Amadeus Consulting. Rage Digital and Amadeus are national, with the other two, the other couple are local. So our product is a huge demand. Everybody wants an app or thinks they have an idea for an app, but very few people can afford it. So that's where we come in. We make it cheaper so more people can have their app, getting us more business. We are planning on going to the Chamber of Commerce to present there and get word of mouth around to get us known so that we can hopefully get a couple of customers. And then right now we're basing our estimate on about $35 per hour, which is a bit low compared to what a lot of other competitors are, but since we're starting off new, it's a good starting place. And then we will use word of mouth to keep it a bit small so we can handle all the projects we get. We don't want to grow too big so that we can't handle everything. We want to get enough projects that will be just fine. And then why we're unique is our age and our competitive pricing, which is the main difference to other companies. Our target market will be medium to large business organizations because they're the ones who are going to be needing to promote their business, get themselves out there if they haven't already. And then schools, restaurants, and private companies are the main. Not so much restaurants because their profit margins a little bit smaller than everybody else, but schools and private companies will have a bit more money, which we can go after. One of our difficult problems is that not everybody can afford it, and then not everybody really wants one, and then not everybody can afford it, so problems there. And then since we are small, we can't take up every project we get, so we're gonna have to either let some go or take one of the smaller ones. So. And then we assume that over time will be our time is worth about $35 an hour. We can handle about 3 new clients a year. Since we're small, that's what we're gonna start off with, and hopefully expand to about 8 or 9 over the course of time. And the typical app takes anywhere from 50 to 150 hours, depending on what type of features they want. And at the beginning of a project, we're going to make a requirement sheet, which we'll go through and we'll list out the time for every piece and how important we think it is to their end product. So we give them an idea of what they're going to want, and we're going to go in there with the hours. We're going to put our basic time in there, and we're going to start off. We're going to charge them about 10 or 15%, so they have some skin in the game, so they're going to stay with us, and if they leave, we still get something out of it. And we'll take about anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000 per project. So for our financial costs, we need a lot of things. We need our Apple Developer membership to put everything up on the Apple Store, which is about $100 a year. And then the Android development membership is $25, which is a one-time expense. And then the Dell PowerEdge D360, that'd be the server we would use, which gives us all the power for everything we need, the host, like our stuff like that, which is $1,650. And then with that, we need a static IP address to host the website and enable features such as web connection. And for our website, we need a domain name, which is $1.17 for the first year, and then it gradually increases from there up until a certain amount, which I don't remember right now. And then we have our domain security certificate, which goes with the server to show that that makes it so we can encrypt the data.
Attention staff, at this time, if you would like, there is a lot of...
I mean, the Windows Server license, which is
main office and is left over from yesterday for Institute Day is open to everybody. First come, first served.
And then there's a Windows Server license, which lets us have the software for our server and keep it real. And then the SQL server license gives us more technology software we can use with that. So that goes up to a grand total of $5,930.17. But there are some possible cheaper options with the Dell Powder Edge, the SQL server license, and the Windows server license. There's this thing from Amazon that they have a bunch of web servers we can use. It's like a meter connection. So it'd be cheaper to start off with that and expand into there. But we're looking to see if that's what we need or if we're going to have to use those. So we're going to ask for $6,500, so we have a cushion in case some unexpected thing comes up or if we didn't take in tax for something or another. So for our payment, this $6,500, the 1% APR will be traded into $6,630.65. And over 24 months, we have to pay $280 per month. So we have a potential customer right now called Petchup. He wants us to make an app that will help people find dog parks and places like that where you can have hotels where you can have pets there, same with apartments. And we're thinking about it's going to take that'll probably cover us for about 5 months, but the $1,500 to $2,000 will make that app. And with that, from there we'll be able to hopefully get more customers in that 5 months, so we can keep paying.
Right. So here's our business card.
So that's mainly how we would advertise the business cards.
Alright, so Tom kind of touched on it a little bit, but right now we have this tentative customer called Petchup. Petchup is a brand within the area, and they make condiments for pet food. And right now, I believe Kills is there in Walmart, and they're looking for an app to discover or help other people discover pet-friendly locations in their area. So this basically involves finding a list of apartments, dog parks, anything like that, and then adding that into a mobile app that people use to find out what's around them. So for this, we assume that we're going to look into the MySQL and AWS, the Amazon Web Service platform, and it's going to take us about 20 hours to get familiar with that. So we'll bill our time for cheaper than the regular amount. So we're assuming $20 an hour for 20 hours, which is $400. And then once we have all of that experience, we're going to move forward with the Android or iOS app. So we'll probably start with the iOS app. It's going to take us about 15 hours to do at $35. And then if we go forward with Android, that's going to be about another 15 hours. But we're going to charge a premium for Android because it's significantly harder to develop for it. So we'll charge about $40 per hour for that. And then we're also looking at the school management app. We've kind of touched on that a little bit. It's really used for communication between the school, teachers, parents, students, anybody that has a connection with the school. So we're going to pilot an app here with North Glen, and that kind of started last year at the House App competition with our North Glen Educational Resource Organizer. And then we'll hopefully have success with that. We'll definitely have success with that here. And then we'll move forward and start going to the superintendents of districts around the area and start branching out into their schools. So for SWOT analysis, we're really good with mobile apps, really good with web applications. So anything that has a database and needs to be connected, we're on it. However, we're not very good with web development. Website design is kind of a weakness that we have, but like any of this, it just takes some time to learn how to do it. So some opportunities, we need we're going to look into the MySQL and Amazon Web Service platform, which will give us some cheaper software. So with that, we'll be down to the cost of the developer memberships, which takes away the cost of the SQL server, the Windows server license, the static IP address, and the actual server itself. So that would be great. We also have the Petchup app that we're going to chase after. And, as always, there's high demand in the market for mobile apps. In their meeting yesterday with App Adventures, they had talked about how the supply and demand is completely imbalanced in this system. There is a huge demand for mobile apps, but there's such little supply, and that's why, we're able to charge so much for them. And, always have a project on our table. So threats, we have the competitors like App Adventures, of course, and Amadeus Consulting. But, we bring to the table again that, insight into the youth market and that cheaper cost. So today we had our presentation for you guys, and moving forward, on May 3rd, we're going to meet with the Dog Park app, the Pet Shop app, which is this Sunday, and that's where we'll really secure the deal and make sure that, he's on board with all of this. And then later on, so the 11th, we're going to, hopefully move forward again and take one more step. And then in July, we'll finish the Dog Park app and have that $2,000 price come into our account and be able to pay back the loan. So again, thank you to all of our sponsors, Mr. Glenn, Mr. Sampson, the Mortgage Family Foundation, High Point Financial with Dan and Mike, and again,
And so this is our donation slide. These are the people, because we know for the Mortgage Family Foundation, one of your conditions is that we donate, and we're very happy to oblige to that. So we're looking into donating to possibly the Northland High School SIM program, and then there's also this really cool organization, it's the Kuma Computer Center. So they donate Raspberry Pi microcomputers, and I don't know if you guys know what those are, but they're really cool. I was actually going to bring mine today, but yeah, I got kind of crazy. But they're really cool microcomputers that they're about the size of a credit card, and then all you have to have is a monitor and then a power source. And then you can use computers wherever they are. So instead of big bulky computers like the one right down there or anything like that, you can use small ones and send them to Africa to help kids there become educated and possibly promote a better standard of living there. And so now, here's the phone. We'd like to show you guys, we had a client, Safe to Tell, they're sorting through some legal issues right now, and so they've told us to stop for now, but we believe that they should be back on board probably by the end of the summer.
Does the CV turn off right now so we can see that screen better, or is it
Yeah, that would probably be easier. Sorry, that's the only screen that has an HDMI port, but so I'll show you the app. So this is just kind of a sample of what we can do. If I can find the app. That's great. It's always the second time. But so we can add in through this API which you see up there, and that's where my finger is, a little dot moving around the screen. But so we can add in through the computer and add a new item to this. So we would give that to the client, and the client would be able to add new stories or things like that, new things about what they're doing. So Safe to Tell was, of course, the organization where they use anonymous tip submitting, but they don't have an app. So you could submit a tip. Joey's going to be bullied today after school, or something's going on at home or something like that. You can submit it through this app, submit it through their website currently, but you would be able to submit it through this app and alert them that way because, the majority of the youth market who they're targeting use cell phones. So this is, one of the animations that we can use, and then this would be the about page. They didn't give us the about content because, right when we emailed them about it, they said they had to continue, or they had to halt work just because they had to sort through their tip provider and legal issues. And so here you can see that we could sort the app into, or sort those, the pushes, the posts from the API. So we can sort them into multiple different areas. So say, you've got some news about domestic abuse that you want to show up on the user's device, you can have it here. But then if you had some news about drug abuse, you would have it show up here. And then if you had some news about suicide, you know, it could go there, and then squirrel, that was just kind of a test, but, you know, if you have news about squirrels, you can put it there. And then here would be the main function of the app, the tip page, where you could, you know, go through and submit whatever, you know, tip you had. This would be a lot more in-depth, but this was just kind of showing them what we could do, and then also to show you guys what we could do, and then we would press submit, and that would go through to them. And, and then we try to stay up with all of the new design requirements of Android and things like that. So this little plus button right here is part of their new Android Lollipop material design. So we made sure to add that and try to keep the apps not only functional, but also looking nice. So yeah, that's just a sample, and then we also have a few other apps that we've made. David has one for iOS that he's been working on with FBLA, which would also be released through our company. So. Thank you for your time. Once again, a huge thanks to the Mortgage Family Foundation, Young Americans Bank, the High Point Financial Group, and especially the SIM program here. So, thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Okay, so when you said that people sometimes don't get apps because it's too expensive, and then you said that and then he said that a problem is that our app is going to be a little too expensive, so some people won't get it.
Well, so there's like a certain amount of people. A lot of people want apps, but they're not in necessarily a position to afford it. And so we want to work with companies that are definitely able to afford the apps, not just, you know, it's kind of in the middle, so that we don't get people who can't afford apps and that it wouldn't be worth our time to make their apps, but then we don't want people who are, you know, looking for like a super, you know, crazy, like high quality, not that we're not high quality, but like, you know, super fast, well done in a short amount of time app.
Have you considered the balance between owning your own apps and selling them, and that of developing apps for other people, and how you would divide your time and your product offerings?
So we had talked about this yesterday with our meeting with App Adventures, and you know, it's a lot better if you can, you know, develop apps for other people, because you have that source of income right away. You're not waiting for your apps to, you know, accumulating money on the app store, or you're not, you know, gambling with whether or not it's going to take off or not.
And so your app for the schools and staying connected here would be kind of an enterprise level purchase from the school? Is that how that would work?
Yes.
Okay.
You all are putting a lot of time into this, and we talked a little bit about startup costs and managing the debts and servicing the debts. But are you guys planning on paying yourself a salary?
Yes.
We're saving because I know we talked about the dog park app could last us for about 5 months making on our loan. We're using that as a last resort. We're expecting to be able to get clients a lot sooner than 5 months, but we're going to keep the money in there so that we can continue to pay until we do have other clients sealed.
So no salaries for the first 5 months.
Well, until we have other clients. Yes.
You mentioned Petchup. Is that a done deal with them, or if it's not, what percentage would you put on winning that deal with Petchup?
Well, we've talked with Petchup for a while. We haven't talked too extensively, but he did say that he was interested in creating an app, and that we could, that he would be very interested in having it done, and we talked about the idea and things like that. So we don't have, you know, a concrete signed contract. That's kind of what we're going to go meet on Sunday to talk with him and make sure that, you know, we're thinking the same things he is as far as what we want to do with the app and where we want to go.
Do you guys expect to continue operating your company after you guys graduate from high school?
So it really just kind of depends on how college takes us. I mean, we're definitely going to continue the company and, you know, manage our customers that we have going into college. But whether or not, you know, we continue looking for new customers and new opportunities while we're in college, kind of depends on, you know, college.
So you guys said one of your threats actually are able to work on it, or do you guys have a schedule for yourselves to be actually working on your apps?
So far, pretty much it's been single person project. Given a lot, given too many group projects a little bit. I'm thinking of once we get a project going, we would set a time, we would set like 4 or 5 hours a week at least aside to go work on our apps.
And we're also seeing summer as being a major area for us to work because I know David has a job, I might have a job, but other than that, we're gonna be free for, at least a few days a week during the summer to be able to work on the app as a group. And we met last summer and worked on the app, and we plan to do so this summer to be able to get a lot done with apps and things like that. And then they run track, and we all three run cross country during the spring and fall. So I'd say that summer and winter would mainly be our main seasons for generating revenue and finding new projects and working on projects and things like that.
And where are you operating right now?
So we see each other at school all the time, so we kind of talk through, our plans and things like that. But whenever we meet, we typically meet at my house in my front living room. And
Is there a cost associated?
no, not that I know about.
Yeah, there is.
You guys have any more questions? Well, thank you again for coming out and for your support.